Okay, in today's class we are going to discuss about control charts for non-conformities. So that is C chart. Okay, in today's class I am going to finish module 3 of this course. So already in module 3 we have plotted two types of charts. One is P chart, another will be NP chart. Okay, in case of P charts we were considering sample fraction non-conforming. In case of NP chart, we were considering number non-conforming. That means if we know fraction non-conforming, we can find out NP. Okay, so with the help of the equation. So that is P is equal to D by N. So if you want to find out B, so we used to make use of B is equal to NP. So here in case of control charts for non-conformities, directly we are considering number of defects. Okay, so that is C chart. A non-conforming item is a unit of product that does not satisfy one or more of the specifications for the product. Okay, in order to say the product is defect or product is non-conforming, so we need to consider few aspects. Okay, it may be based on particular quality characteristics, okay, or specifications. If the product don't meet those specifications, then we consider the product manufactured is a defective or is non-conforming. It is not matching with the standards. Each specific point at which a specification is not satisfied results in a defect or non-conformity. Okay, if you consider a two-wheeler or four-wheeler or any vehicle, okay, so specifications may be mileage, speed. Okay, so again, if it fails to give assured mileage, that is also a defective. That will result in losing brand value for that particular company which is manufacturing a vehicle. Okay, so like that, if it is again, if it fails to if company is assuring that you can ride the two-wheeler at a speed of 140 kilometer per hour, suppose, so in reality if you are able to ride only at a speed of 100, okay, if it cannot go beyond 100 kilometer per hour, so even that is also a defective. So here mileage may be a quality characteristics, speed may be a quality characteristic. Okay, so like that for different products there are different specifications and different quality characteristics. Based on that we can evaluate its quality. It is possible to develop control charts for either the total number of non-conformities in a unit or the average number of non-conformities per unit. These are the equations. Okay, here C is the standard value, so that is it is number of defectives. Okay, so if it is given as a standard, then you can make use of this equation. Usually you will have a data, that means a table related to sample numbers, number of defectives. In that case, so you can find out C bar. So if C is not a specified value, then you can go for this equation. Again, same equation, instead of C you are considering C bar. Okay, it is nothing but you are adding all defectives and you are taking average. So using this equation, you are going to find out upper control limit, lower control limit and center line. Then based on the given data, you are going to plot control chart. Then depending on the location of the points, if all points lie within the control limits, we can say process is in control. If some of the points lie beyond the control limits, that require further evaluation. When in practical application, if quality engineer do the analysis, if you find assignable causes for those points, then you can eliminate them and you can revise the control limit. If assignable causes are not found for the points which are plotted outside the control limits, then you can say you can continue with the existing trial limit itself for further evaluation. Okay, so like that there are considerations. So now we will understand how to plot this C chart. So procedure is almost same. Okay, nothing new, same procedure. Okay, but we are considering number of defects or number of non-conformities. Okay, so we will consider an example, a problem. With the help of that, we will understand how to plot C chart. Table presents the number of non-conformities observed in 26 successive samples of 100 printed circuit boards. Set up a C chart for this data. Okay, so totally you are considering 26 samples. Then in each sample, in each subgroup, so there are 100 units. Okay, out of 100, how many are defectives? That is given in the table. So you are considering 26 samples within a sample. So there are 100 units. Okay, it may be after 1 hour. Okay, you are picking 100 samples. Okay, 100 units of a sample. After second hour, that is a sample number 2. So you are picking 100. After third hour, you are picking 100. So that is sample number 1, 2, 3. Or you can call it as subgroup also. So within that sample or within the subgroup, there are 100 units. Okay, out of 100, how many are defects? That is given. Number of non-conformities, 21. Out of 100, 21 for sample number 1. Out of 100, 24 for sample number 2. Like that. So data is available for 26 samples. Okay, number of non-conformities means number of defects is given. So based on this, so you need to plot C chart, control chart. Okay, so this is the given data given in the problem. So based on that, you can find out C bar. Okay, in order to find out C bar, so number of non-conformities is nothing but that itself is C. So add all these values. So 21 plus 24 plus 16 plus 12 plus 15. Like that, you should add all these values. So totally you will get 516. Okay, then average of this means, so you have to divide it by number of samples, that is 26. So add the values, individual defects in every sample divided by number of samples. That will give you C bar. Once you find the C bar value, so using these equations, you can find out upper control limit and lower control limit. Okay, so in this case, upper control limit is 33.22, lower control limit is 6.48, and average is 19.85. So next, based on this, you can plot control chart. Okay, so on the x-axis same, you have to consider sample number. On y-axis, you have to consider number of non-conformities, number of defects. That is nothing but these values, C values. Okay, for sample number 1, 22. For 2, it is 24. So now you can see for sample number 1, 21. For 2, 24. Like that. So for remaining points also, you should plot. Okay, you should get these points. Okay, first, so draw x-axis. Consider you need to have 26 divisions to represent 26 sample number. And y-axis, consider number of non-conformities. Again, while choosing the scale, you can look into minimum and maximum value. Okay, and also upper control limit and lower control limit. So here minimum value is 5. So maximum value is 39. So that means, so you can, if you take 1 unit is equal to 5 defects, so then you can have till from 0 to 40. Okay, again look at the upper control limit and lower control limit. So they are also within that. So you can choose 0 to 40. Okay, 0 to 40 is sufficient. So even if you take 45 also, no problem. Next, after that, so you have upper control limit and lower control limit, center line, mark them. So lower control limit is 6.48. So on the y-axis, select that 6.48 value, then draw a horizontal line. Next, center line 19.85. So choose that point, draw a horizontal line. Next, upper control limit 33.22, 33.22. So choose that point and draw a horizontal. Next, plot these individual values based on these values, C values. Okay, then, so now based on this, what you can say, whether the process is in control or out of control for this problem. Okay, by looking at the control chart, so what you can say, whether the process is in control or out of control. Okay, here you can see for sample number 6 and for sample number 21. Okay, you have 2 points out of the control limits. Okay, that means so the process is out of control, or so it requires further evaluation. So that means initially you cannot say whether the process is out of control or not. This is a signal based on which calls for further evaluation. Okay, this out of control points in the initial trial limits, so they will give you an idea regarding further evaluation. Okay, you need to consider point sample number 6 and sample number 20 for further evaluation, because you are getting 2 points out of the control limits. Again, in practical situation, if assignable causes are found for getting these points out of the control limits, so then it is out of control, you need to eliminate so these assignable causes. Okay, otherwise, so in theoretical, when you are solving problem theoretically, you can say because point for sample 6 and sample 20 are out of the control limit, the process is out of control. Or if in the question, if they ask you to revise the control limits, then so you have to consider revising them. Okay, so here you have plotted the control chart and 2 points are out of the control limits. Okay. Next, since points of sample 6 and 20 plot outside the control limits, further evaluation is needed to know whether assignable causes present or not. And also, if in the question, if they ask whether the process is in control or out of control, you can say the process is out of control because sample number 6 and 20 plot outside. Next, so again, same data. So we are considering further evaluation. Okay, investigation of sample 6 revealed that a new inspector had examined, quality inspector, quality engineer had examined the boards in this sample, and that he did not recognize several of the types of non-conformities that could have been present. Furthermore, the unusually large number of non-conformities in sample 20 resulted from a temperature control problem in the wave soldering machine, which was subsequently repaired. So now revise the control limits. So here it is a problem related to circuit boards. Okay, so PCBs. So here, because of this reason, because of manual labor, so there is a problem, that is one assignable cause because of inspector, that is quality engineer. Okay, another assignable cause is related to so temperature control. Okay, so then so now we have to revise the control limits. So earlier you got 2 points 6 and 20 out of the control limits. Now suppose if they ask you to revise the control limits, what is the procedure that we will discuss now? So this is the given data. Okay, so now, so suppose if you want to revise the control limits, first thing is you should eliminate out of the control points. Okay, so that is 6. For 6 you are getting 5. Okay, for sample number 20, so you are getting 39. Okay, so these are out of the control limits. Okay, so yeah, so if the number of defective is less, okay, so that is a good sign. But the problem is, so it may be because of improper inspection also you may be getting less number of defects. So that's why even for this type of a control chart, you have a lower control limit, because so if inspection is not done properly, then also you may be getting less number of defectives. And an average, okay, if you produce some components, okay, based on previous data, based on your knowledge, okay, you are expecting some defects. If you are getting very less number of defectives, it may be because of improper inspection. Okay, you may be failing to identify the defects itself. Okay, because of that reason, so even we are considering less number of defects also. Okay, so number of non-conformities So for 6 it is 5, for 20 it is 39. Okay, so you should eliminate these two. Okay, so next you are considering only remaining 24 samples. Okay, in the remaining 24 samples, so again, so initially, so total was 516. Okay, and you are considering 26 samples. Now you are eliminating these two out of control limits points. So that means you are considering only 24. Then, so from 516, okay, so you should deduct this 39 plus 5, okay, 44. 516 minus 44, you will get this 472. Or you have to add, once again, you have to add this number of non-conformities for 24 samples, excluding 6 and 20 sample number. Okay, so you will get this, and these are the revised control limits. Okay, 32.97, 19.67 and 6.36. So now you should plot control chart, again same procedure with new control limits. Okay, now you can see, so even though you have eliminated these two, you are representing on the control chart because it will give proper picture about past history of the process. That means what happened earlier. Okay, so that it will give an idea. For that reason, you are in the control chart, you are representing 6 and 20, whereas in the calculation of control limits, you are not considering the 6 and 20. Okay, we did the same thing for previous control charts also, same concept. Okay, now we can see remaining 24 points other than 6 and 20, all are within the control limits. That means we can consider this for further evaluation. So these trial limits can be considered for future production. So by keeping these control limits, we can evaluate further evaluation. So now consider same problem, 20 new samples. That means, so we are plotting control chart for further production of PCBs. 20 new samples are subsequently collected. The number of non-conformities in each sample is noted and recorded in this table. Set up a C chart for this data. Okay, earlier we already evaluated 26 samples and already we have defined the control limits. Now, by keeping same control limits, we are evaluating the process further, or we are evaluating the manufacturing of this PCBs further by considering few more samples, that is 20 more samples. Okay, this is the further data. For sample number 27, you are getting 16 defects. So like that for 28, 18. Okay, for 44, 9, like that you are getting the defects. Now, you are keeping the same control limits, upper control limit, lower control limit, and center line. They remain same as it is, and you are plotting control charts. So you are plotting points. Okay, so for 27, 16, for 28, 18. Okay, for 27, 16, for 28, 18. Like that you are so getting the points based on the values of number of non-conformities. Okay. Now we can see all the points are within the control limits. Now need not revise the control limits. So we are having points within this. Or if you want to, if you have some reasons to looking deeper, okay, you can consider few more aspects. You can consider run, okay, you can consider cyclic pattern for further evaluation. Okay, that is a different discussion. So this is the procedure for plotting C chart. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay. So next, choice between attributes and variables control chart. So in module 2, we discussed about variables control chart, that is X bar R chart, then X bar S chart. Okay, so they are the variables control chart. Whereas P chart, NP chart, C chart, so all these are attributes control chart. So in case of attributes control charts, we are considering quantitative data. Okay, that means so qualitative data. That means data is not in terms of exact numbers. So it is not a continuously varying data. Okay, so you are making whether it is defective or not defective. Okay, so that you are considering, that is attributes data. Whereas in case of variable control chart, so you are considering dimension, its value, like that. Okay, next, so suppose if you are a quality engineer and you should implement statistical quality control techniques in the plant in which you are working, then which type of control chart you can use. So for that also there are some considerations. Okay, so both these charts have their own merits and demerits. Attributes control charts have the advantage that several quality characteristics can be considered jointly, and the unit classified as non-conforming if it fails to meet the specification on any one characteristic. Okay, so on the y-axis we are considering number of defectives or fraction defectives. Okay, so that means, so that defect may be because of number of reasons. It may not be because of only one reason. That means you are able to consider many quality aspects in a single chart. That is possible because finally you are considering defective. That defect may be because of various reasons. All those various reasons are included in a single chart. Okay, that is the advantage of attributes control charts. Variable control charts provide much more useful information about process performance than does an attributes control chart, because in variable control chart we are considering a particular quality characteristic like dimension of a product. Okay, or it may be flow rate. Okay, or it may be any other quality characteristic. So that means you are evaluating a particular quality characteristic in detail in variable control chart and you are considering their values. Okay. Whereas the most important advantage of X bar and R chart, so they are also variables control chart, is that they often provide an indication of impending trouble and allow operating personnel to take corrective action before any defectives are actually produced. So in case of variable control chart, it is possible for us to do online inspection and avoid production of defectives. Okay, that is the advantage of variable control charts. So that's why generally variables control charts are preferred to attributes control charts. So attribute control charts are widely used in non-manufacturing applications, like in financial applications, in banking sector. Okay, so processing checks are time taken in order to evaluate time taken to complete online transactions, or how many times consumers are able to do this online transaction successfully, how many times they fail. In order to do this type of evaluation, attribute control charts may be suitable. Okay. But generally variable control charts are preferred over attributes control charts. Next, last topic, guidelines for implementing control charts. Okay, there are some guidelines. Determining which process characteristics to control. Okay, in any manufacturing activity, there are many characteristics many variables need to be controlled, need to be regulated. Okay, so next you have to determine which one you should regulate. So at the beginning, control charts should be applied to any product characteristics or manufacturing operations believed to be important. The charts will provide immediate feedback as to whether they are actually needed. That means if you plot control charts initially, then if you revise control limits and if you evaluate further, you will get an idea. Okay, whether if you are not getting points out of control limits. Okay, for after plotting few control charts, so you can leave those things. You can leave those quality parameters because they are operating within the control limits. Okay, so like that you will get an idea regarding whether to consider a quality characteristic or whether it requires continuous attention, continuous evaluation. All those things you will understand after plotting control chart. The control charts found to be unnecessary should be removed, and others that engineering and operator judgment indicates may be required should be added. Okay, so if you keep on retaining the control charts, from beginning of production to end of it, okay, you may be having number of control charts. It may not be necessary to keep all those control charts. You can remove them. Remove if it is based on the computer software. You can remove them. You can delete them. If it is a printout, okay, again you can replace with required control charts. The out of control action plan is a vital part of the control chart. Operating and engineering personnel should strive to keep out of control action plans up to date and valid. So in previous module already we discussed about out of control action plan in detail. Okay, so this is related to that. Next, determining where the charts should be implemented in the process. So they should be implemented and maintained as close to the work center as possible so that feedback will be rapid. Work center means so the machine, okay, so in which so your machines used for production, so that is the work center. Okay. Next, choosing the proper type of control chart. So we have control charts for variable and control chart for attributes. So in order to choose a particular type of control chart, there are few considerations. Consider using variable control charts in these situations. So if these situations exist, you can go for variable control chart. That means X bar R chart or X bar S chart. A new product is being manufactured by an existing process. Troubleshooting. That means you want to find solution for a problem. Destructive testing is required. So there are two types of testing: destructive and non-destructive. Destructive testing means so it will cause damage to the specimen under consideration. It may be a car, okay, so where before releasing a new model of car into market, okay, so car manufacturing company will do some tests, okay, so if accident occur, okay, how the car get damaged, to what extent. So for that, so they will conduct this destructive testing. There are very tight specifications, overlapping assembly tolerances, or other difficult manufacturing problems. A change in product specifications is desired. Process stability and capability must be continually demonstrated. So these are the situations in which you can go for using variable control chart. Then consider using attribute control charts in these situations. Operators control the assignable causes and it is necessary to reduce process fallout. The process is a complex assembly operation and product quality is measured in terms of the occurrence of non-conformities. That means we are considering only whether it's a defective or not. So you are not getting continuously varying data. Okay, instead of that, you are getting only data in terms of defects or acceptable products. Process control is necessary, but measurement data cannot be defined. That means you don't have qualitative data. Then you should go for attributes control chart. Okay, next, taking actions to improve processes as the result of statistical process control or control chart analysis. Okay, you have plotted control chart. Now we have to implement its output. Okay, for that you can make use of this thing. So you have to ask two questions. Is the process is in control? Again, it is depending on how points are located on the control chart, whether they are out of the control limits or you can find any type of run like consecutive 8 consecutive points above, below. There are many considerations. Okay, based on that you can say whether the process is in control or out of control. If the process is in control, you can go and you should ask one more question: is the process capable? So already we discussed about process capability. Okay, if process capability is more than 1, that is always desirable. If it is less than 1, okay, so that is problematic. Okay, that we already discussed in detail. So you should ask these two questions: is the process is in control and is the process capable? For both the question, if the answer is yes, you can go for implementing statistical process control tools because it is a continuously improvement process. Now everything is fine, but what is the guarantee that in future also everything will be fine? No guarantee. Okay, for that reason, so you should go for implementing statistical process control strategies. Okay, suppose if the process is in control, but process is not capable, then you should go for implementing statistical process control techniques, then experimental design, investigate, you should go for investigating specification, you should change the process. Okay, next, process is out of control. No means it is out of control, but so process capability is good. Okay, then you can go for SPC, or else you should go for this. So this is a guide to make decisions regarding what action need to be taken after evaluating a control chart. Next, selecting data collection systems and computer software. Okay, now there are many softwares available to implement these things, even collecting data and even plotting control charts. So there are softwares available. Even for interpreting control charts, also softwares available. That means everything is computerized. Okay, it is not required to do manually. Even inspection is automated. Okay, using many techniques. Okay, machine vision with the help of sensors. Okay, so even measurement can be done automatically. That measured values will be in the system, and this by using these values, control charts can be plotted by using software, and even based on the location of the points, software itself it can give an idea regarding what what conclusions we can draw. Okay, everything has been computerized. Selecting data collection systems and computer software. So in order to do this, so you should have knowledge regarding. Okay, so in order to do this, so you should have knowledge regarding. So what are the softwares available to for this purpose, for interpreting and plotting control charts. Then you have to make a judgment. Okay, which is the suitable one. Next, even for collecting data. So now you have automatically you can collect data using sensors and using softwares. Okay, like SCADA. So next, there are many problems in the textbook. Okay, so you can consider these problems for practicing. Okay, so after after few days, I will give assignment also. So there also you should solve few problems related to this control chart. Okay, so these are the two more problems which you can consider for your practice. Okay, this completes module 3. In next class, so I will start module 4. Okay, if you have any questions or any doubt.